Well, today's theme is super zooms and why I love them for my landscape photography. Now, you may have seen me on many of my trips toting a 28 to 200mm super zoom on my 35mm film cameras, and there's a good reason for that. Well, there's many good reasons actually. Well, firstly, it's an all-in-one lens, which means I'm not having to remove the lens at any point today. It's windy, it's cold, my hands get quite chilly. I don't want to be swapping lenses in and out the bag. That's a real inconvenience. And of equal importance to me is speed of operation. This camera clips onto my Peak Designs clip here on my rucksack, and the beauty of it is when I see something good and the light changes, I only have to whip the camera off, switch it on, press the button and take the shot. And that's because the camera is also autofocus and I have it in aperture priority. Now what I'm doing is I am using the flexibility of my SLR camera and my super zoom. I can change composition at any time I like. I can zoom in or zoom out obviously onto the scene. I've got enough film speed to handhold. I'm not missing a shot. I just know the pictures today are better than if I bought a tripod and some fixed focal length lenses. I'm shooting at the moment around some rocks and it is quite bright, but I'm needing about f8, f11 to get the depth of field. That's giving me about a 2/50th of a second, which is more than adequate. Now, if it was a really dull day, I would have to push the film or bring out the stabilised lenses. Only problem is a stabilised lens is huge, and this isn't. Well, as you may be able to see, the wind is vicious up here today and the conditions are so much so that I could not be messing about with lenses. Thank goodness I've got the super zoom on today. I need the focal range of 28 to 200. I'm shooting quite a lot wide and also quite a lot at the long end for a change because of some lovely distant hillsides. Now, my hands are well insulated in these merino gloves, but if I was having to swap lenses all the time, I would soon get cold fingers and lose enthusiasm. And there's nothing worse for sapping your creativity than being cold and miserable. Just waiting for Robin to finish his shot, then I think we'll move in a bit closer on this wonderful rock structure known as the Salt Cellar. I will say though, it's cold today. It's really tricky going. I don't want to grouse about things, but yeah, I'm really glad I've got the camera setup I have got today. I've not had to change anything apart from a GoPro battery. I just don't think I could, to be honest. It might look lovely, but oh my neck, it's cold. Now, having spent the last couple of hours walking around and extolling the virtues of these super zoom lenses, it would be remiss of me not to point out some of the drawbacks and failings. First off, it's a super zoom, so optically it's not going to be as good as your shorter zooms, your 24 to 70, your 70 to 200, or even the more modern zoom lenses which are coming out for mirrorless cameras. This is an old banger from about 20 years ago, cost about £50. Optically, not perfect, not great in the corners. You're going to get all sorts of problems if you start making big enlargements with modern digital cameras. However, on 35mm film, not so bad. The other big problem is distortion. Now, distortion on these lenses is probably best described as horrendous. On the wide end, 28mm, you will have a lot of barrel distortion. You know, that sort of like bending of the image. It's like a fisheye because it's not very good. And at the long end, pin cushion, where it's the opposite, where it pinches in. So I wouldn't recommend it for shooting architecture or doing cityscapes. It's not one I would take with me. However, for landscapes, I haven't really got a problem, because if one rock looks slightly more warped than another, you're not going to notice the difference because there's not many straight lines in nature. So it's ideal for my usage, but it might not suit you if you've got a high resolution digital camera. This is only a film camera, so it's perfect for me. Well, that's me for the day, and a fantastic day it is too. Got everything I wanted out of the 28-200, nearly 2 rolls of film shot. But if you'd like to see more from this lens, with me shooting in the Welsh Mountains, check out this video here. A fantastic day shooting, and all the better for having just one lens and one camera. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon.